To set up an integration in Data Push, you're going to first want to go to your Apps tab and select Data Push here. This will bring up, probably for you, if it's your first time, a blank list, and you'll be creating a new integration with this button here. You're going to give the integration a name and select the connection that you've just set up in the previous steps and click this to start. You're going to start with a blank slate, but you'll see some details have already been filled in with defaults for you. You can change this at any time if you'd like to rename it or if you'd like to update the connection. Your new integration will begin in an inactive state, so it will not run until you toggle this to active. In your connection details, you've already entered the base URL in your connection settings, but this is going to be the path for this particular endpoint that follows that base URL. So in this case, you might have a generic endpoint for all transactions to be sent to, or you might do it individually. For example, you might have pick orders be its own endpoint. You can save that here. If you would like to enable SSL certificate verification, you can check this box here and make sure you save. These other settings that you see here, the timeout is the number of seconds that item path will try to connect before logging a timeout. The maximum here is 30 seconds. This option here allows you to limit the number of records that are sent at a time. Data Push queues each transaction to be sent one after the other, and they send within milliseconds. But if you are sending in the hundreds of transactions at a time, you may want to limit this to batch it into smaller groups so that you don't start to slow things down. If you update this number, just make sure to save that. Similarly, if the Data Push connection is lost, it will retry to send the transaction. You can up this default of 1 to keep trying to send a transaction up to a maximum of 5 times before Data Push will log that there was a failure, and it'll record it here in this failed attempts tab. Additionally, here you can add extra headers in addition to what you've already set up in the Data Push connection for authorization. If you would like to set up additional headers for the call for this integration specifically, you can set that here as well. You'll also see that private checkbox. If these headers are confidential and you check this off, they will not show up in the logs. And just hit create header when you're ready. You can add several if you would like. This final section here is a way to filter out only certain types of transactions. In this case, I am creating an integration specifically for pick orders. So I'm going to want to limit these filters to only send pick orders. You'll see 2 types here. The manual picks are for what's created manually in PowerPick, and order picks are created by an external system. And I can just save those here. If you look, you'll see all these history types. These are all from PowerPick. There's picks, puts, transfers, corrections, etc. You can add whichever specific ones you want in. If you leave this filters section blank, it'll just send all transaction types. You can do the same for motives as well. In some cases, you might like to skip transactions with a certain motive. Let's say they're deleted or canceled. So you could select all other motives aside from the motives that you'd like to exclude and save that. And that'll make sure that any transactions that have been canceled or deleted are not going to be sent to this integration.